I'm going to start off by heating my oven to 180 degrees. So in an oven-proof pan, I have got some diced bacon, which is going to start cooking. I've got 1 sweet potato, 3 carrots that are peeled, and I'm going to grate with a good old grater on this one. And to the bacon, I'm going to add the grated carrot and sweet potato, and then I'm going to stir it around, so I've got to use my other hand. It's not on a flat out heat, so on about halfway. Yeah. Give it a bit of a mix. Lid back on because the steam helps cook it. Then instead of broccoli, I've got what's called broccolini, which is beautiful because you can use the whole thing. Stalk tastes great as well. As you can see, I've chopped the ends off the broccolini and I've chopped the stalks up fairly fine. Then in it goes. Bit of a tap. And again, give it a stir and simmer. Sweet potatoes starting to cook down a little bit. Carrots starting to cook a little bit. It's about now that I normally add some herbs. It's about now that I normally add some Italian herbs, but I don't have any at the moment. But I am putting in some semi-sun-dried tomatoes in oil with herbs. So what I'm going to do, tip them in there without chopping them because they'll break down a little bit, and give that a stir. Right, so that's had the lid on, keeping the steam in for a little bit, about 3 minutes. You see the broccolini's in a nice green colour. Put a little bit more flavour in it. It's got a bit of white wine. What have you got in the fridge? Give it a little bit of a splash. This is where you loosen up anything that's stuck to the bottom, because that's all flavour. Good flavour as well. And it helps clean the pan, so washing out's a lot easier. Once you do that, put the lid back on, give it a couple of minutes. So while that's bubbling away, you can see the steam in there as well. I'm going to break a dozen eggs into this big bowl. It's a big mixing bowl, don't get a small one. And I'm going to use about half of that, a carton of cream as well. Okay, so I've got my eggs, got my cream. I'm going to pour in roughly half. And to mix it, you don't need anything fancy. Give it a fork. See how I'm not, it's more of a backwards and forwards motion. If you start doing that, the bowl will start moving itself as well around. Just want to make sure that you break up each yolk. And that's it, done. So I'm just going to put some salt and pepper in it. I like to use a salt grinder, and I'm not sure how to film this, so I'm going to have a go at it. But what you can do, the way I like to do it, so you can actually measure what comes out, I leave the lid on it, and backwards and forwards. And then once you've done that, you can take the lid off it, and you've got your salt. So here's my mix that's going to go into the frittata. Now if you have a look at the pan, it's a good non-stick one, it's oven proof as well. It's got these bits that sort of stuck to the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get them off, because we're actually going to cook the frittata in this pan. And then I'm going to take this, unfortunately I've only got 2 hands, won't be able to show you doing it. I'm going to put a spoonful of it, actually, that's what I can do. Got a spoonful of it into the egg mix. And I'm going to mix it around so that it doesn't scramble, the heat from it doesn't scramble the eggs. Then I'm going to take another one, and I'm going to mix it in again. again, mix it in well so it doesn't scramble one portion of the eggs. What I'm going to do now is take the rest of it and put in there. So I've mixed my mix in with the eggs in my bowl, and I've gotten everything out of the pan. There's a few little bits and pieces in there, but I want to leave them in there. I'm not going to wash it with detergent before I put the egg mix back in, because I want that flavour that's already in the pan. I've got that on 7, so 7 out of 9. Decent heat. I can feel it's getting hot again. Not putting my hand in touching it, but you can actually feel the heat with your hand. Then I'm going to get this egg mix. I'm going to pour it in. I've also got some Persian feta, which is really easy to crumble. So I'm going to break a few bits of that up and scatter it around in there as well, because it'll add extra flavour to it. You can see how it's just starting to cook on the edges, getting that yellowy bit. It's nearly ready to go in the oven. Should have called this a one-handed chef, shouldn't I? Anyway, just crumbling up this feta. You can see it's a lot sort of stickier and gooier than normal feta. And it's got an amazing soft flavour as well. The flavour is soft like the texture. Beautiful. Distribute it around as even as you can. Then go and wash your hands. Once you've done that, it goes into the oven. I like to use these pans. They're a scan pan one, because these handles can go in the oven and they won't melt. They will get hot, so you do need cloths like those ones to get them out of the oven, but they won't melt. So it's been about 20 minutes. Looking in there, I can see the top. I don't really want to open it because it'll let the heat out, but I do want to open it to show you something. This is how you check to see. There's nothing sort of moving. Feels pretty firm as well. Actually, that's good. So another thing I like about these pans, it's got 2 handles. So what I've done, 2 towel on each hand, because these are hot. They're oven proof, but they're hot. I can give a little bit of a feel. I can feel that it is actually cooked. It's bloody hot as well, so don't burn yourself. So I've got it out of the oven. I've got it on what's called a trivet. Now, use a tea towel to pick this up. I've got 2 of them. What they are, you have metal ones, there's a lot of different types. What it is, you put your pan on top of it, keeps it up off the ground, so it gets a little bit of airflow around it, helps it cool down a bit quicker as well. You'll see that at the moment this is on the edge of the pan, but as it cools down, the proteins will sort of scrunch back together again and contract, and it'll pull away from the side of the pan, so it comes out fairly easily, hopefully. Right, so it's been about another 15 minutes, and if you have a look at it, apart from looking bloody awesome, you can see it's sort of, I'm not sure if you can see it's come away a little bit away from the side of the pan. So what I'll do, how to get this under this. I'm going to put this on there like that. Those handles are all right. See if I can actually prop this up and do it so I can show you without turning it off. A couple of fingers on top. Voila! Not sure if you can see it, but yeah, turned out pretty good. Now it's on a plate. Everything's come out of the pan. It almost doesn't need washing up. Of course it does. Yeah, I'll cut a bit in a second and tell you what it's. So this is, do you notice something? I'm going to cut a small bit, but it feels pretty good. Here's the proof. Oh, look at that. Pretty bloody lovely. I'll turn it back over that way because I just like the colour of that. And taste test. Oh, pretty bloody good.